Um, Patient counseling we are studying, and current state in India regarding patient counseling. Uh, Drug prescriber or doctors are overloaded or not having that much time to uh, counsel the patient or to give the advisory to the patient or regarding the advice to the regarding the medication. So pharmacists must have a duty to counsel them, to advise them regarding their medication, regarding their disease, regarding their theories, regarding symptoms, and how much time they required for the um cure of that particular disease. Patient on not clear on how to use medicine, when to take or how long to take, what to do when if some dose is missed, so then how to continue again that particular medicine. No, next is effect of lack counseling. If we are not giving proper counseling to the patient, so what are the effects? Patients on not clear on how to use medicine, when to take this medicine, how long to take this medicine, and what to do when miss the doses. Uh, this is result in therapeutic failure, adverse event or adverse effect, avoidable and additional treatment and cost. Uh, when you leave your prescription in between, that particular microorganism get resist that for that particular medicine, and you have to take uh, some strong medicine or some another medicine for the treat that particular disease. So this is a condition to increase the cost of your treatment, and time also taken more for that. Now, next is effective counseling will result in. If effective counseling is there, then what you will get? So, better patient understanding for their illness, role of medication in treating illness, improved compliance, adherence, reduce incidence of adverse event, uh, improve quality of life, better strategy for the patient to handle the drug related adverse effect. These are the some points or some um, result of the better counseling. So you have to counsel the patient on time or in better way, in effective way, with good communication skill to get all the information regarding the disease, regarding the medication, regarding the advisory to patient or from patient. Now, next is communication skill important for the effective counseling. Earlier, I told you, you must understand the language of patient, what he is, in which language he is communicating with you. You have to answer in that particular language. You must know that local language for the understanding of patient condition or patient um, patient symptoms or patient what patient is feeling regarding that particular disease or that particular uh, medication. Now next is communication is two type, verbal and non-verbal. This is verbal communication. Here you must know the language, tone, volume, and speed. These are the four major criteria you have to take care in your counseling or during your counseling. Language, tone, volume, and speed. One by one we'll see. Uh, Language, simple and easy language to understand the patient condition, to communicate with him. Patient must be understand your points, what you are giving to, or your advice, what you are giving to patient. Simple and easy understanding way. That language must be understood from both sides. Second, to avoid medical jargon, that is also any medication or communication difference or communication understanding regarding the previous medication or what medication you are giving, that there is no difference or no discrepancies or disturbance regarding that particular medication, or easily understand whether this what kind of medication you are taking previously and now what kind of medication we are giving to you. Now, similarly, the prefer patient on own language or local language. You have to tell, like in Maharashtra, you have to uh, uh, speak in a Marathi for that local people or patient get understand easily. In Gujarat, you have to speak in Gujarati, like that. Or in if Madhya Pradesh, if you are in Nimar Kshetra, you must be understand Nimari language, or you have to speak in Nimari language to understand. Some Indore, nearby Indore, Malvi language is there. Then you have to speak in that language also to understand the condition of patient. Similarly, next, tone. Tone tells a lot about the person speaking. So your tone should be soft and impressive, so patient can understand you, or patient not hesitate to speak with you, or caring and assuring. So patient must understand you are a soft spoken person, you are listening him properly, or you are taking care about his words, and you are giving the proper advice after the um, asking after his question. So your tone must be proper in front of patient. Similarly, your volume. Uh, Stable volume, avoid high volume, just softly you have to speak. No need to speak loud, so patient can talk with you without any fear and without any hesitation. Ideally, in a quiet setting, so you have to speak with him in proper manner or in proper tone, in proper volume, to understand his condition and to advise or to give advisory regarding the medication to him, and he can easily understand. So now next is speed. The rate of speech should be moderate. He can easily understand your words, your sentence, your instructions, and he can get that instruction. And you also understand his language or his words. And one my suggestion is you no need to uh, uh, scold the patient, or no need to criticize the patient, or some if he is doing wrong with that particular disease, no need to criticize him, no need to just aware him to give proper advice, right advice, so patient will understand if what I am doing with this disease is wrong. Now I will do some right thing. That is pharmacist told me, like that. And that is very important. You have to gain the confidence of patient with you. This person is understanding me, this person is understanding my language, my condition, and he is whatever advice he will give, that will beneficial for me. So all this during the communication he can easily understand this person is right person to say all those things what I am feeling or what I am suffering. So clear message in a logical sequence, this helps patient to understand what is being said. So patient must be understand your verbal communication as well as non-verbal communication. So next is non-verbal. This is non-verbal communication. It contain distance, eye contact, facial expression. Uh, if you're making proper distance, then uh, distance should be that one patient can feel he is with me, he is talking with me, he is understanding with me. Eye contact is not that much he is scared about you, or he is not able to face you, or he is not able to make eye contact with you. So your eye contact must be soft and some understandable in the patient get free uh, in front of you. Now, facial expression also is very important. Your facial expression is you are feeling very soft or very nice to meet him or to understand him. You are eagerly listening to the problems, and you want to give some advisory or some suggestion regarding the medication that has to patient feel. So your facial expression is like that. Body language, your movements of hand, limbs, etc., and your dressing sense also is um, some give feeling or soothing effect to patient can easily talk with you. Uh, just I am giving example. If you are wearing the jeans and t-shirt in front of you, in front of patient, and just talking him, tell me what is your problem, what is going on with you, like that. Then patient will some scared. Whether he is right person or not. Why he is asking this much question? Why he is taking my interview or like that? But if you are wearing some formal dress, having some apron, and sitting properly in front of patient, and just you asking what is going on with you, what is wrong with you, like that, then he will speak something to you regarding his condition. And slightly he is getting confidence, this is the right person to I will discuss all the problems, my problems with him. So you have to get a confidence of patient uh, regarding patient counseling. Uh, this is a very universal truth. Here it is written is 80% message received in a non-verbal manner. But my thinking is that here is written is 50%, but my thinking is that 80% is communication is non-verbal form, that is non-verbal patient when enter in a room or enter in a he get a, some idea, he get some idea about you, about that particular hospital, about that particular chamber, about that particular institution. So uh, and this communication is not non-verbal, some vibrational level also is there. If you are feeling very happy to getting insight in your room, then he easily understand if this person is feeling very happy, uh, and I can talk with him easily. So here that is written is 50% message is received in non-verbal manner, but my thinking is uh, uh, I am giving simple example. If you are going in a bus or train, uh, you don't know anyone, but for some person you are getting, by seeing him you are getting some impression, he's a nice person, but you didn't talk with him, you don't know, but some feeling is there. So simply, that is non-verbal, because some positive vibration coming from that passenger to you, and your vibration is going to him, like that you can understand this person is nice among all people. Like that we can say this is also a communication, or this is also comes under non-verbal communication, that is vibrational level. Now communication is skill non-verbal, distance, patient to patient and patient to pharmacist, personal level, 45 to 45 centimeter to 1.2 meter, that distance must be there, this much close to this much. And social distance, that is 1.2 to 3.6, and in public that is 3.6 meter more. If you are talking personal interview, so you have to take care this much distance. In social you are talking, and publicly you are talking, you have to take care of this distance. Now next is eye contact. Patient sensitive to eye contact, culture issue also matter. So eye contact, that much eye contact is required. Patient must understand, and he can't get scared with you. So eye contact is required, but you have to take care your patient condition also. You are not giving or taking interview in a for the job. Here, patient is coming for the treatment, and you have to understand his condition also. So eye contact is very important, and take care for this. Because of eye contact, patient don't get scared. So that much only eye contact required. Some feeling will give. He is listening to me. He is understanding my problem. Like that feeling must get by patient. Now next is facial expression. Uh, can be used to show empathy. Head and hand movements can be used to signals empathy as well. Empathy is the ability to identify with or understand another situation or feelings. So, person must get you are understanding his feelings, his condition, his disease, or his symptoms. What you are getting, what I am telling, that a pharmacist is going to understand or understanding. So, your facial expression should be like that. Now, next, step during counseling, patient counseling. This is important. Preparing for session, opening the session. If patient enter in your chamber, or you go to the patient, then how your session will start. Actual counseling session, closing the session. These are the steps involved in a patient counseling. Preparing for counseling session. Success of session depends on skill and knowledge of pharmacists. So you must know the skill, how to interact with the patient, and at the same time you must having knowledge to what kind of question I have to ask, what kind of things I have to tell to patient, so he will feel free to say everything to me regarding that particular disease. So this skill and knowledge must be having with pharmacists. Next is through review of patient medical history and medication record. So how you will get this knowledge about the patient, or you must read his if he is having some prescription, he is having some medical history, some records, you review that one before talking with him. Go through the medication record. Next, different source can be used, such as hospital record, community pharmacy, drug dispensing record, etc. by the understanding the patient condition. So you can also use that particular source for the understanding the patient medical history or medication, previous medication. Pharmacists need to have uh, a good understanding of pathophysiology and drug that are prescribed. So, by reviewing the medical history of that patient, pharmacist must understand what kind of pathophysiology or symptoms have written by the physician, and what kind of this drug prescribed by the physician. So you can understand, or you must have that much knowledge to understand the things or history or condition of patient, what kind of medication he took previously, or what kind of condition patient was there and now what is the condition. And you must having ability to correlate today's condition and previous history. So this knowledge must be with you. Reference such as drug information reference should be consulted before the handling of that particular patient. Now, opening of session, how you will open the session, or how will you will start the counseling with patient. So that is not easy. One person came to you and you have given the medicine and that is over. Not like that. You have to these things are having several steps. How you will start your the problems, discuss the patient condition, discuss the his previous medical history, and after that you listening, you can conclude the things, and after the conclusion you are able to understand the situation of patient, condition of patient, and you can recommend for the physician to prescribe the medication, and physician will diagnose the disease, but that is further later on. But opening the session, how you will talk with patient, start how will start. So a start of session focus on information gathering from the patient. So your what is your focus to get maximum information regarding the patient, regarding the particular disease. So that is your aim of this session. Now, introduction of pharmacist make the patient comfortable. If patient is comfortable, then he will tell everything to you. If patient is uncomfortable, he will hide something, or he will not tell